everybody, welcome back to our Altered Book Junk Journal. Last time around I showed you how to prep your book, so you should have your book all prepped. Here's mine. As you can see, this is a different book than the one I was using in the previous video. All that black in that last video was, I don't know, I didn't like it, as it turns out. So, I grabbed another book, and I prepped it, and I will say, I might have too many pages still left in here, but if so, I'll just pull them out as I go along. It still looks like it's got too much in it. I like it pretty thin, because it will chunk up a lot. Anyway, so I'm going to ignore the first few pages. And we'll get back to those. Alright, so you can see here I've ripped some pages out, and then I have these two. It looks like I didn't do anything with these two. I wonder why. Okay, oh, you know what? I don't think I did with any. Now I'm just thinking to myself, I don't think I did these. I finished that other book, but this one I just pulled out the pages. So let me glue these and I'll show you how to do some of these. So I'm gonna just do a side pocket here. So this is just so easy. All you need to do is grab some paper and just put whatever you want on here. Let me grab this one so you can see. This one I happen to use a collection that I had, and all the scraps, except for a few things I pulled from my stash, came from that collection. And you can see, like here, I just put a mat and a couple of torn pages. I used some craft stock in this one, and I'll probably use some plain stock in this other book too. But it's basically a case of just grab whatever you like and throw it on the page, and don't think about it too much. If you think about it too much, you'll make it too hard, and honestly, it won't look as nice as if you just wing it. It's supposed to be a junk journal. So I have, let me just put my pin. Push this to the side for a second. Off to the side where you can't see it, I have this box. Let's see if I can get it open without hitting the camera. Just a box full of scraps, all kinds of scraps and things from previous projects. Stickers, I've got paper, you can see it's just all kinds of stuff. And this is what I'm mostly going to be working with. And actually, I'm pulling that. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to pull that out. Look at these butterflies, aren't they great? So it's just a case of, grabbing something and working with it. For the most part, this is really cute. You're going to be working one page at a time. Like, because it literally is supposed to be like a journal. So let's go back to our page here. It's this one, right? Yeah. All right, and you can see there's a side pocket. I do want to cover all of the text. This is very shiny, so maybe not with that, but maybe with this, and with that, and then something else up there, right? And you can see these things clash. They don't even particularly go with each other, but it doesn't matter. That's what I'm going to use, because I saw them in the box, and I like them, and I'm going to use them. And I'm looking over here to my side to see if I have some washi tape. I cleaned out my craft room recently, and I have no idea what I did with my washi tape. It's here, so, oh, you know what, I like that side too with those butterflies. I think I'm going to use that side. And I wonder if I might tear it a little bit. Anyway, so I have no idea where my washi tape is. I don't know what I did with it. Clearly I straightened it up and put it somewhere, but I don't know where. So okay. That's good. I like that. Oh, excuse Excuse me, I'm sorry, I have a terrible cold. So I'm just going to put that down, like that. And then I think I might do this as a top loading pocket. So I'll put this on last. I just need something for up there. So let me go into my scrap pile here and see what I've got. That. It's kind of boring. Oh, you know what? I have this. I like that green, and I maybe will do a stamp or something on that. And I'm just gonna tear it. Okay. Like that. Yeah. All right, that's good. I mean, you don't have to tear, but since I tore the other one, I'm just gonna put a little ink on this. That there. And put a picture there. And then I think I'll put this here and glue that side down a little bit. And I'm just going to do it on 3 sides, and that'll even in, or maybe I'll only do 2 sides and it'll be more like a tuck. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 sides like a tuck. Yeah, don't overthink it. I think the whole charm of a junk journal is that it's kind of freewheeling. Okay. There's that. And then, if you wanted to, you could write here for your journaling or put a picture there and then add some journaling somewhere else. You could, I'm just reaching over here. I've got this little book that I use sometimes to rip pages out. I could rip a page out and put it up there. Might be cute. But anyway, so that's a page. And I'll make something for the side later. And then we have, now this page is cool because it has all this free space. So if I just have, oops. I will say this is a project that's a little easier if you've got some room to spread out, which I don't. So, but if you've got a journaling card or something like that, this would be a good spot for it. I'm looking to see what I've got. Hang on. I've got this wonderful Graphic 45 girl. She's so cute. Could go with that. Why not? All right, I'm going to cut that and I'll be right back. All right, let's see. Perfect. And then we'll leave the bottom for journaling. think this might have come off the cover of the book because it's shiny. I mean, the cover of the paper pad. So what I can do, I could go over that with some matte medium or something like that, or sandpaper, something like that to tone it down if I want. But I think it's all right. I'm gonna make a top-loading pocket out of that. Come back and add something there. I want to do one of those diagonal pockets though, show you how to do those. So let's make one of those. Now, let's say we're going to use this piece. Maybe is this piece even big enough? Let's see. Okay, I think it's big enough if I go in this direction, which is sideways, but that's all right. Let's see if I can pull some of this paper out so a little bit less bulk in the spine. So the way I would do this is, and I'm using a pencil, but honestly I don't usually. What I would normally do, and I'll show you, is I want this to be cut about here. So I would just go through and make a little tear with my finger, and then I'm going to put it on my cutting paper trimmer and trim it where I made that cut with my finger. So now I have a piece that's the right width, give or take. And I'm just going to make a little hash mark with my pencil. And then I'm going to go up here and make, and I'm just coming down about, I don't know, 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch from that fold. And then I'm just going to line up the 2 hash marks on my paper trimmer. Okay, and there we go, a piece that fits. Just like that. And oh, goodness. That shifted on me. There we go. Okay. And then this piece is just, of course, a rectangle, whatever fits. You can put there. How about that? And I'm literally just like reaching into my scrap box and grabbing things. All right, and again, I'm not going to measure. I'm just lining it up about where I want it. And then you could use scissors if you want, but I just use my fingernail and either bruise or tear the paper a little and then cut. right down in there, like that. Okay, let's go there. And this was, you know, the first piece of paper on the top. Do not, like, drive yourself crazy trying to make everything, at least at this point, for the base. I mean, later on, as you're actually writing in your journal and, you know, maybe you want it to reflect what went on that day or whatever, then you can be more careful. But if you're just setting up sort of the base pages, you know, don't fuss too much. But again, I do recommend that you don't necessarily, unless you're giving the book as a gift or something, just do the pages as you come to them, as you know what you're going to do. I mean, maybe you went to the beach, so you want that particular day to reflect that you went to the beach. Or maybe you cooked with your family that day, so you want it to reflect that. Maybe you had a bad day, and you know, you want to reflect that. Maybe you had an awesome day, and you want to reflect that. So kind of, you know, take it as it comes. Where's that little book? So, you know, this is kind of plain, so we could maybe use one of our little birds. Let's see what we got. Or, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to go grab something else. Got this one. Oh, look at that. Opened it right up to something that might look cool. All right. So let's lift that out. And I'm just going to do that. I think that would look cool. I like that. And just gonna ink a little. Just to reiterate, like, don't overthink. I mean, these papers that I'm on the page already are kind of white toned, and what I'm putting on right now is a creamy tone. It's fine. It's just fine. Okay, just like that. Again, I apologize about this cold that I have. And then another thing is I have, looks like I wrote a note on this one, but that's okay. I can erase it. This is just a piece of watercolor paper that I could just washi tape in place and maybe do a watercolor of a flower on. That might be cute. So hang on, where's my washi tape? I have one roll of washi tape that I haven't lost. So that's what we're using. And again, I'm not gonna worry about whether or not it's the perfect washi tape. I'm just gonna slide it in a little bit. And just gonna do that. And then we'll flip it open. I could journal on this, I could do a painting on this or a drawing, I could put pictures. There. So very simple. So we have a pocket, we have this whole area here where you could put something, we have our flip, just like that, and it's a top loading pocket as well, I think. Or maybe not. No, I didn't make it a top loading, but I might have. So I'm just going to trim away some of this. So we have have this page, which has a nice area for journaling. And we have this one. And I think that's coming up a little bit. All right, and then you get to, so you can see what I'm doing, which is basically whatever I feel like. I might make a side pocket. Just like that. And let's see, let me grab something out of my scrap box. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, I really like that. And, all right, so let's use this. And I just marked it with my finger, just like I've been doing all along. And let's see, let's start that. This one, I think, is Prima Santorini, which is a really pretty collection. You can get your, I think you can still get your hands on it. It's a pretty one. When I first saw it, I almost didn't buy it because it looked like it had a lot of really in-your-face foiling that I didn't really care for, but there's actually plenty of places where it's a little more subdued like this. All right, so we need something up there at the top. Let's see what we've got. And actually, you could even put just something solid up there for journaling. Let's see. This piece, this is another Prima paper. And that's actually kind of nice, and that would be a good place to journal. All right, now I'm going to show you, if you don't want to use your fingers, you just take your scissors. See how I'm like fudging because the scissors are, it's easier to use your fingers. Just make a mark and then go cut. Okay. Nice, and I'm going to overlap those a little bit. That. And then we could cover that seam with something. Either you could use washi, you know, which I might do, or you could use ribbon or lace, or even another paper. What have I got? Let's see. I got that. Almost use that. You know, tear along here or fussy cut. And maybe we'll do that. That'd be pretty. It's a little bit wide. That's all right, we'll tear it after. So we're fussy cutting, but not like crazy. We're not going nuts all over this. think you can. All right, let's go back and just trim these a little bit. There we go. Now we know it's too long, so which side do we want to take off? I think I want to take this side off. And I'm just gonna eyeball it and cut it. Doing still a little bit more. All right, there we go. That's fine. A little bit short, but that's okay. All right. And then we're just going to overlap that seam a little bit. Oh, hang on. I'm hearing like crashing and banging coming from the other room. I shall be right back while I go see what my kittens are getting into. Okay. All right. I think I've rescued them. All right. So there's kind of a plain page, but lots of stuff you could do with it. And then a side pocket. And again, I still have to do backs on these pages. This one is coming up and it's driving me crazy. But we shall see. Maybe I could put a piece of washi tape over that. Maybe that would solve that. Whoop. My pin stuck to my washi tape. Let's see. I think part of it is that it's got some of this where I ripped the pages out. I think it's sticking up, and I think that may be what was causing that. But that should solve that. And actually, just to make it look better, let's put a little piece there. There. That actually, I like that. It looks good. All right, so you get the idea? All right, let me go through. Now you've sort of seen how to do, you know, the basics. So let me pull out the one that's finished. Set these things aside here. And I'll just go over that a little bit with you to give you an idea of what you might do. All right. So this one, this is just a piece of ephemera that I made a tuck spot out of. I took a scrap here. It's not even a full pocket. I just glued it on 3 sides. Like there's no tabs folded under or anything. It's just a single sheet of paper to make a tuck spot or a pocket. Same with this one. Just a piece of paper that I glued. I used my 1.5 inch circle punch and glued it in. Same here, it's just a piece of paper. I glued it on 3 sides, used the 1.5 inch circle punch. Here was a journaling card, similar to that one we had in the book we were just doing, where I only did a small part of the page to leave room for a lot of writing. This particular book, the tall graphic 45 cards fit, the tags fit the top loading pockets in this book really well, so that's what I used. And here I just used a piece of plain craft, glued on 3 sides with the 1.5 inch notch, and then I pulled a page from my little bird book and glued it down. This one, clearly it's a photo mat, so I just glued a few little ripped pieces of paper under it and then glued it down. Side pocket here. This one I had glued, pardon me, I glued a tuck spot with nothing behind it. When I went back to it later, I was kind of sorry that I hadn't put some paper behind it. But I did some large pieces that I tucked in it, and then I made this belly band on top of it just by cutting a piece and gluing it top and bottom. Nowhere in here did I do like a full pocket where I made the tabs that you fold under. I didn't do any of that. Everything is just glued right to the page. And then this is a piece of ephemera. It's a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera, and I just glued it on and some washi tape. And that's because this whole thing flips. This is just a sheet that I had of, I think it's Tim Holtz paper actually. And I just, or maybe not, now that I look at the back of it, it might not be Tim Holtz. That might be Prima actually. No, I think it is Tim Holtz actually. Anyway, so I just washi taped that to this page to make this flap. And then here I had a plain piece of craft paper, craft cardstock, and just glued this little tuck spot pocket to it. Piece of ephemera in it. And just a solid sheet. And then at the end, what I did is I just put this, it was solid, and I just kept going. Then at the end, I came back through and I added whatever scraps I had, like I had this, so I added it in as a tuck. Here I had done this, and when I came back through, I added a scrap here as a little pocket. Okay, and then a side pocket. Here, again, I had a piece of paper that didn't cover the whole page, but I made a pocket out of it. And then I washi taped this piece of watercolor paper to it, and then a piece of ephemera. Here's just a solid sheet of the paper, and then the side pocket, and I just used half circle to make the tab. And it wants to catch, but that's okay. Again, piece of ephemera tuck spot. I used my hole punch there, or my circle punch, I should say. Again, this is just a whole sheet of paper. Again, another whole sheet of paper. Here, I just made a tuck spot out of a cut apart that I had and stuck a piece of ephemera in it. You can see a lot of these pages are just a whole sheet of paper. If you use a fun print, that's perfect. And this one I just used kind of a tone-on-tone. Well, it's not kind of a tone-on-tone, it is a tone-on-tone. And I made a pocket on top of it with a scrap. Again, this is a little fold out. I loved this page and I didn't want to cut it, so I just folded it in half and washi taped it into the book. So it's just a fold out. Here a piece of craft with just a piece of the top and a little label. Another little just tuck spot. Piece of watercolor paper. This is a pocket. And again, I went through first and put all these and just matted everything plain. Then I came through and added the pockets and things after with all the scraps I had left. So there's that. This is a tuck spot, and I'm kind of wish I hadn't used it, so I may glue it down, only because this was something I had intended to use somewhere else and glued, so it has glue on the back of it. And even though the glue has just, it still remains tacky, so anything you put in and out of it sticks a little bit. But I like the way it looks, so. Another photo map, but this one I put in on with washi tape so that it flips. Washi on both sides, that's all. Little tuck spot here. Again, all this ephemera is Tim Holtz. The ephemera and the little flowers that I made the tuck out of. A side pocket. Again, another tuck spot. This one I had a craft background with a pattern paper at the bottom. Like if I didn't have a big enough piece of craft, I used it anyway and then added another scrap. And then made a tuck spot. And here's a whole sheet. Another tuck spot, and this was from the ephemera pack. I really liked this sheet. This was another one that I did as a fold out with washi. And then a piece of scrap. And another pocket, and then a pocket and a tuck spot on the inside back cover. So that's that. So I think that I gave you enough information. If I didn't, I've already linked you, and I'll link it again, to Gail Augustinelli's page, where she showed how to prep the book, and you can learn anything you would want to learn about junk journaling there. I am very much a newbie to that, but I really loved making this one, so I hope you enjoy it too. Thank you so much for watching, and please like if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.